Kane, it's 1-0. We're looking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well. Yes, this is a pyjama top I am wearing, but I do not care. Sometimes we wear dressing gowns. Today we're wearing a pyjama top. It is what it is. I hope you are all doing well. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. It's only been the odd video here and there, hasn't it, over the last 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, apologies. It's busy Christmas time and all that sort of stuff. I, for one, cannot wait until it is over. I can't lie to you. It's like, for one day, you leave yourself skint, exhausted. Leeds have been rubbish. Well, they haven't, have they? They were class against Ipswich, rubbish against Preston. But you're only as good as your most recent result. And Farker could be the best thing since sliced bread again tomorrow night, couldn't he, if you want it? I didn't watch the presser, mate, no. I've been watching the football, then jumped straight on here. Thank you, everyone in the chat as well. I never want Christmas to be over, can't be doing with January's. Just me tonight, Damar, just me tonight. Everyone's busy. To be honest, I didn't really ask. I asked Lockie, and that was it. Lockie and Andre. I was just like, I'm in a bit of a slump. I'm in a bit of a slump myself. So it is what it is. So just got to keep moving, though. You've got to keep moving. Evie was top quality yesterday. Need to win tomorrow. Yep, really, really good. A lot of positive comments for Evie as well. So a lot of love for Evie. So that's good to see. Good evening, Joe. Another must win. Definitely. Definitely. I think so, Gordon. It is another must win. It's important, isn't it, on fan channels, I think, to have different voices, different narratives. So even just to check your own thinking, that's why I like, having chats with Joe 100%, and Evie adds another layer to that as well. It's great to see a female as well, like Kate, bringing different opinions, which is always great. Any truth to the rumours of Villa after Cree? They may well be after him. What I will say on any of this stuff, no player will leave Leeds United this January for me. Not anyone that we don't want to leave. Players will leave who we don't want, but I think the 49ers will look at it and say, no. I don't see that happening. In the summer, where we all know, right? We already know that if we do not go up, these players will leave anyway. Like, we're under no illusions. So Fabrizio Romano could tweet about Villa being interested in him, and they probably are, but they're not getting him in January. Will they get him in the summer? Potentially. If we don't go up, for sure. Think Evie had some good points about the playoffs, Joe. I didn't agree. Like, I didn't understand the point that was being made. And no one said you can't be confident. You can be confident. I just think Leeds United notoriously don't do well in them. That's all. 49ers need to go for it in January. Yes, they do, for sure. And I think they will. Yeah, right. Listen, we're playing West Brom. I do want to chat a little bit about West Brom. My good friend Mally, let me just find his comment. Just bear with me. Big up Mally says, I truly think we underestimate the lesser teams, Joe, almost expecting the win before the whistle blows. We can't afford to do that. If you're talking about the squad, then yes, they cannot afford to do that. Us as fans, we can. It is what it is. We're fans. We have no impact on the game whatsoever. You can be overconfident or anything like that. It is what it is. For me, I'm not overly confident about tomorrow's game because West Brom are a good side. West Brom were a much better outfit than the one we played earlier on in the season. They didn't have a best start to their campaign, if you remember rightly. It took them a while to start to get into gear. Then they did get into gear, and now they're a position below us. And if they beat us tomorrow, they'll cut the gap down to 3. West Brom are a good side. Carlos Corberán is a good technician. When we say rewriting history there, what are we talking about? Me? explain and elaborate, and I'll defend it, Jamie, whatever I've said that you're saying I'm rewriting history on. Tomorrow is a big game, and especially we have Darlow, though, and not Melia. Do you think that's a positive? I'd say it's a negative. West Brom will come to play, so it bodes well for us. Yeah, to an extent. They will be tough nut to crack. Defensively, they are very good. I believe they might have conceded or have the most clean sheets. Sorry, let me just have a look at my notes over here. Yeah, they have the most clean sheets in the league. They have 11 in total across all games. Yeah, so they have 11 in total, the best in the league. 6 of those have come at the Hawthorns as well, so they're very good at home. Obviously, we drew with them last time out. They didn't really deserve that. Like, I thought we were the better side. Their goalkeeper was fantastic on the night. And, of course, their goal really shouldn't have stood, if you remember rightly. I can't remember if it was a handball or a foul in the lead up to the ball going into the back of the net. But yeah, their goalkeeper, I think, was it Allsop or was it? Oh, sorry, Alex Palmer. Alex Palmer was the goalie. He had a great night as well. So, you know, I think this fine. Listen, and what I will say after the games that have just passed, it's fair to say now, with the gap that's been created and the amount of games we've had in order to bridge that gap, I'm not going to sit here now and use August as a defence. I thought it was a fair enough defence up to a certain point, but the fact now, you know, when you sit and try be objective, try to take your biases out, pro and negative, that we've had enough games now. We've had enough games now to have been able to bridge that gap, and we haven't. Definitely not. Yeah, Jamie, I agree with you. This is my point as well. Like, if people want to come out and say, like, oh, you were too overconfident or whatever, no disrespect to Preston, they're shit. And I know this irks a lot of fans. They'll go, yeah, but we didn't beat them, so circa we're shit. It doesn't work like that. We were piss poor. The tactics were wrong. We didn't show up. But Preston are a rubbish football team. A lot of the teams that we've dropped points to this season are rubbish football teams. I'm not going to suddenly now change my opinion like Jamie says here, and I think he's bang on. I'm not going to now say, oh, no, Preston are a good side, because they're not. They're not, and they'll probably lose at the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. Morning, Joe from Straya. Where's that, my bro? He says, I'm worried that Corbs is going to out-tactic us. Well, he didn't in the first tie. You would have thought Kieran McKenna may have been able to do that, and he didn't. You know, we've scored 8 goals against Kieran McKenna's side. So, yeah, I think the onus isn't on... The onus is on us, and what I mean by that is, if a team comes and plays, we'll be better than them. It's when the onus is on us to break down a team. That's when Daniel Farker has to change and has to, big up Jamie and Oz, my bad, has to come up with the tactics to be able to break down their low block. Be interesting to see how West Brom do go about it. Because as I said, defensively, they're a unit. You know, they have Townsend at left back, Daniel Phil on at right back. You're looking at either Kipri and Bartley, or it could be Sebi Ajayi and Bartley. These are top players in the Championship, I may add, but they're very good Championship. It's a very good Championship back four. A very good Championship back four for me. So, and Alex Palmer showed in that first game, he's a very good keeper. So, I just don't think they'll sit in as much as we've seen, say, at Preston. But if they do go with them tactics, then I think they're going to be fine, right? They'll look at it. Maybe Colbrand will go with that. Maybe Colbrand will say, listen, we sit in, we allow them to make the mistakes, and then boom, we go. You know, like Vic Vinegar said, you've got you Kuslu. This is off the top of my head. You have Jed Wallace. Jed Wallace was great the night they beat Leicester or drew with Ipswich. We watched the game. Wallace. You have Grady Dean Garner, Asante up top as well, Matt Phillips, Alex Mowat. They have some decent players in there. They are championship players for me. I don't see any of them making the step up to the Premier League, or when they have, they've come back down and no one's bought them. They're a very good championship side for me. So it will be a tough game. That goes without saying. Now, as I said, the last time we played at the Hawthorns, we beat them 5-0. That would have been in Bielsa's tenure, I think. In the Premier League, yes, it was, because the last game of the season I went to, that one was at Ellen Road, though. Conor Gallagher played in that one. Sam Allardyce was their manager. Calvin Phillips got injured, but then went to the Euros anyway. Do you remember he put in that crazy challenge late on? Yeah, so last time we beat him at the Hawthorns was 5-0. I mean, it'd be nice if it was that. I don't see that happening. Yeah, Jamie, the XG numbers, the underlying data underneath everything is not great at the minute. I think, you know, one thing I learned under the Bielsa era, just because of the amount of data that was available. Oh, West Ham have missed a penalty, have you? There you go. Declan Rice gave it away. I'm glad as well. Romain Sawyer's back pass. Yes, I remembered the man. There you go. There you go. What I was just going to say, though, and I think he makes a great point, Jamie, there with the XG is, like, before, as a fan, I just used to watch the game, which I still do, and I still shout and I still scream and all that sort of stuff. But it wasn't until Bielsa came that my knowledge grew, I guess. I'm not trying to sit here and say I've got amazing knowledge. I don't, by any stretch of the imagination. But it was the introduction of All Stats, Aren't We? And the likes of Josh Hobbs and John, who's now working at T4, coincidentally, who I listened to. It's mad, really. But these sort of players, when they were sort of podcasters, that were talking about the underlying data, the underlying numbers, and how eventually that will bear fruit. That will bear through. You can outperform your XG, you can underperform it. You know, we've seen with Bamford, for example, we all remember that time there. So I think the low XG numbers away from home, eventually, like even if we were getting luck, your luck runs out, right? It goes to the norm. And I think, you know, as them XG numbers share, we're not creating enough. We're not creating enough goal scoring, you know, opportunities. And like Jamie says, yeah, it has become more accessible, which makes opinions. Yeah, for sure, it helps, right? It helps. West Ham, what a surprise that is, by the way. But yeah, so West Brom, last time we were at the Hawthorns, we beat them 5-0. It's comfortable. It's not going to be anything like that now, let's be honest. They have failed to win, though, any of the last 6 head-to-heads against Leeds United. One of them being this season, of course, when we drew with them at Ellen Road. But outside of that, it's been 4 losses and 1 draw. So our record in recent times against West Brom is very good as well. We can all remember I think the last time we'd have been beaten by them, looking at them numbers, would have been the time that Harvey Barnes did us at Ellen Road, if you remember. Harvey Barnes, did they beat us 3-0? Harvey Barnes got 2, I think. My memory's poor, but I remember Harvey Barnes came and he'd gone on loan to West Brom and he was supposed to come on loan to us, if you remember. Bielsa's first season, they battered us. They battered us at Ellen Road, I think. No. Yeah, it was at Ellen Road, was it? No, it can't have been, because it was at their place, wasn't it? Because at Ellen Road, we scored that goal after like 20 seconds or whatever when Pablo and bang, top bins. Yeah, still remember that now. So, big up Evie in the chat as well. So it was at the Hawthorns. So that was Dwight Gale and what's his face as well. Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes scored. So that was the last time we actually lost to a West Brom side. So since then, we've played them 6 times and not lost once. Drawing 2, losing 4. 1 draw, obviously, coming this season. Key point, though, that was at home. That was at home. Away from home, as has been shown, okay, we're 4th in the table, but in recent games, we've been poor. We have dropped a lot of points of late, haven't we? We are, if you like, in a mini slump. We are in a slump. We've won just 1 of our last 4 matches. That's not a good run for a team that wants to be challenging the top two. Yeah, and it's gone from being in the top two to challenging the top two because we're now in fourth. My concern is as well, I look at it, Southampton play Plymouth. The pressure is going to be massively on Leeds United. We're the last game, folks. We're the last game. You know, the one that kicks off, Southampton play Plymouth at 6. Obviously, the players won't be aware of this because they'll be getting ready for the game like 2 hours before. They're not going to be. But as a fan base, like Southampton play Plymouth at 6. Let's have a look what the other games are. Cardiff, Leicester win. And Ipswich are at home to QPR. QPR haven't won in 3 now. They're poor again. So Ipswich, you would think, would win. So it's like for us as a fan base, we could be going into this game going, right, so Southampton have beat Plymouth. Ipswich are winning. Leicester are winning. And now we've got to go to West Brom. Yeah, Damar, it ain't there. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. But you said to me yesterday, you stick your head above the parapet. It is what it is. But potentially Byram could be available, which may mean he might move stuff around. I'm still not convinced he does, by the way, which will send the fans into meltdown. But I'm still not convinced that he does change it. But then again, he'll have to, right? He'll have to. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll see the error of his ways and change it. Let me just bring in this super chat. I believe these two teams who defend for 90 minutes against us, we need a Bamford as the number 10 or 9. As he slows the players down, he can hold the play up. We could do with the striker that can hold the ball up more effectively than what Rutter can at times, I think, and bring others into play. But what you can't take out Rutter. I think you would have to get rid of Piroe for me. Yeah, probably, Vic. You're probably right. You're probably right, but nah. See, it's all love. It's all love. He might pick CM team tomorrow and change it. He's got to change it, hasn't he, Jamie? He's got to change it. Look, West Brom coming into this, just beaten Norwich prior to that. They'd drawn 1 and lost 1, but they ended a 2-match winless run, beating Norwich more recently. As I said to you at the top of the show, they've got 11 clean sheets, the most in the division, by the way, so they're not going to be an easy team to break down, to score goals against. Best clean sheets in the league, 6 of them coming at home as well. We know how poor we've been away from home as well. Of late, over the course of the season, was still the 4th best team rated away from home, which ain't too bad, is it? But if you want to be top 2, you've got to be doing better than that. Another not so great stat for us is the fact that West Brom have lost just 1 of their last 9 home games, winning 5 and drawing 3. That's a decent run. That's a run that like we'd be happy with. Do you know what I mean? Losing just 1 in 9 at home is decent. So, yeah, winning 5 of them, drawing 3. So this one, and this is the thing, right, where people can like say, "Oh, you were too." I'm confident going in. Not confident in this one. Wasn't confident at Sunderland. Wasn't confident against Rotherham. There's certain games. I just think of the manager and the players they've got. They're not a bad side. They're not a Premier League side in waiting or anything by any stretch of the imagination. They're a good Championship side and should be aiming for the top 6. Lower end top 6, like your Sunderlands, like your Hulls, like your Middlesbroughs, etc. They're that type of side, but they're not going to make it easy for us by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. They've got a good record at home, losing just 1 in 9, winning 5, drawing 3. A lot of comments about Darlow in the chat. How do we feel about Darlow, folks? Because right at the start of the season, we all thought he was coming in as number 1. Right, that's what we all thought. I think they felt Meslier was going to be sold. He wasn't. He's still here. However, when we've seen Darlow, he's looked shaky. He has looked shaky. We saw him against Salford, not great. I'm still not convinced on the first goal. The second goal, probably from the back, but when he took it, I thought it almost too easy. But listen, it's not on him because I would be defending Meslier, saying it's before that. It's before that, which is fine. But I do think Meslier is the better goalkeeper. But it will be interesting to see how he gets on. Because, yeah, I don't know what it's going to mean in terms of distribution. I know a lot of people don't rate Mellier's distribution, but I think it's all right. I think it's good even. You know, I'm changing my opinion for the crowd. I think he's got good distribution.
His short passing games, he's great. It'll be interesting to see how Darlow does. Decent. I have no confidence he can make a save, which is a bit of an issue. Yeah, potentially I am, Jamie. Potentially I am. I haven't watched it back. I was so pissed off, you know, because I was tired. I was up late. I was tired. I came in, I did it. And then, like, just to see us get back to 1-1, I was like, oh, thank you, man. Thank you. And then after the game, I thought I'm going to bed. And then I was like, I'm not even doing the later game because what's the point anymore? Southampton have passed us, you know. Everyone hates everything and all that sort of, you know what it gets like. So I was just like, oh, I'm done. I can't be arsed tonight. So did the final word last night because I'm not going to not face up. But yeah. Do we still? Yeah, Klassen's had a terrible haircut. I noticed it in the last game. Yeah, exactly, Vic. And then I tweeted out, at least we have Old Trafford to laugh at half-time and they won fecking 3-2. Do you know what I mean? Michael says, distribution, I'm not bothered about it. Trying to play out from the back. No. Come on, Michael. Jamie, what I will say, though, yeah, okay. I mean, you could probably say that. I think Meslier has credit in the bank over a period of time, and people think he's a good keeper. So, yeah, no, that's fair, Jamie. That's what I'm saying. He's now going to get a run. Isn't he? He's going to get these next 3 games. Let's see what he does. Because the thing is with Darlow, not with Darlow, sorry, with Farke, as when we spoke to the Norwich fan, is he rewards good performances. So if he does well in these 3 games, Jamie, he's not going to be dropped out from the side. He's not going to be dropped from the side. So Meslier, you know, might struggle to get back in. Definitely. Yeah, I hope he don't balls it up. We don't need no errors or out like that, do we? You know what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see. But listen, Leeds United do need a change in fortunes. We've not had a bad season, regardless of what people think, in my opinion. And again, it's my opinion. I don't think we've had a bad season. The top 2 have been as good as they are. We've not been as good as them, and therefore not being able to cut down the gap. And I do, as I say, think we've had a good season, but the last 4 matches have not been great. Drawn 1, lost 2, won 1 against Ipswich. Arguably the toughest game. Michael, I don't know what do you want me to say about Farke? Do I think he should make changes? Yes. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What do you want me to say about Farke? Are you saying you want me to say sack him? Because I don't think that's the right decision. I think it's wild to even think that. What do you want me to... I've sat here and criticised him. People who watch me have criticised him. I'm not defending the indefensible here. I have criticised him where he's made wrong decisions, where he's not made changes. I've sat here and said it's almost Sunday League tactics when he throws on six strikers. I've done all that. I don't know what you want me to say. I do call him out. I do. This is my point, Vic. I don't understand it either. Trust me when I say there's people out there that are teetering, but they don't say it. Just say it. Say it with your chest. Stop worrying about what people's perception of you might be and fucking say it with your chest. Because there's people out there that don't rate him. I don't care. As I've said to you before, with the Bielsa stuff, never wanted him gone. He used to take pelters for it. With Marsh, I went early on it, took pelters for it. And some of the shit that I received in DMs and stuff over that. But it is what it is. So I'm not going to... If I feel that he's doing things wrong to a place where it's not going to go anywhere, then I will call him out. I would say you need to go to the people that are saying, well, I'm not quite far, but just say it with your chest, man. Something for the holiday fun. Your content has been great in December through it all. Thank you so much, Trotsky. Colin, big up to you. He says, tough times, but we need to keep our heads high. 9 points. Would love to front Rooney by 7 or 8. We keep moving, Joe. Thanks, man. Marching on together, LUFC, for sure. Okay, if he doesn't change stuff, then right. So what am I defending? And I just do not go along with this narrative at all. I do not go along with this narrative at all. Anyone who's trying to tell me that Archie's been poor this season or has had more than 2 poor like halves, then I think you're being disingenuous. I do. I still stand by that. I give you Jack Clark. Jack Clark, 45 minutes, battered him. Second 45 minutes, nowhere to be seen. Yes, we still lose the game. Archie dealt with him. First half against Bristol City, Bell, I think his name was, struggled for a period of time. End of the game, pocketed him. Second half against Preston, I would argue, yes, the goals came from that side, okay, but there was periods where he'd done all right. He doesn't keep getting ripped, though. This is the point. I don't understand it, because against Ipswich, he had his best game. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, you're hanging him out to dry. You're this, you're that, you're this. And it's like, are you mad? Now, someone commented on my video, I do not care. I do not care that he is 17. He is not good enough. What? He doesn't, Damar. He doesn't. Give me some games. Outside of Sunderland, Clark, and Miller, Preston, what games has he been poor in? And I'll wait. You say he's not a right back, but isn't it funny that he's been played there at international duty? He's also been played there for his club. Which other games? Segundo says, I mean, I'm not really the guy for this because my memory is poor. Mavadidi, top player. What happened second half? My point is, everyone is quick now to all of a sudden say he's not good enough. It's crazy. It is crazy. But that's the thing. I'll defend him to the hill. It is what it is. I don't understand how he was hanging him out to dry and all this sort of stuff. Only because James had to help him. That was an instruction from the manager. That James has been helping him in every game. That's what your winger should be doing. That's what your winger should be doing. That's not a poor reflection on Archie that his winger in front of him is coming back to help him. That's not a reflection on Archie. I just think it's yeah. But anyway, football's about opinions. Football's about opinions. Jamie Lowe says, we signed a legit right back who's now fit. Gray's had many games at right back for sure, but Spence should be put there now, which is fair. Gray's done well out of his normal position, but the boy needs resting before he's... I don't think his confidence will drop, though. Where are we getting this from, Eva? Who? So, at which point? So, again, this is my point that I'm saying. On Boxing Day, he got done. What about all the other games that he didn't? That's wild. You're saying from that game, the game just gone, right? His confidence is going to get blasted. Where have you heard that? Who said that? So you don't think he's built up all this now all of a sudden because of that? His confidence drops? I understand fitness, not confidence. Where do we even get that? This is a guy at home against Ipswich, was the last player on the pitch going, marching on together. And we're talking about his confidence dropping. Where does that even come from? Well, it doesn't. Like, it's wild to say that. It's for me anyway. If you've heard that, fair enough. I disagree with it. If that's come from you, I disagree with it. But yeah, he wasn't great on Boxing Day. Maybe Farker should have subbed him. But to say that's going to hamper his confidence is mad for me. But that's just my opinion. let's go back anyway. We could talk about this all day. And again, I'm not saying that the switch shouldn't be made. I'm defending Archie though, because a lot of people are now saying, "Oh, you know, he's not this, he's not that." He's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal. You know, someone said he's had a good couple of good halves. That's disingenuous. Really disingenuous. But it is what it is. Right, okay. So Leeds winning just one of their last 4 matches and subsequently relinquishing 3rd place to Southampton as a result. That's where we're currently at. We're at 4th, right? We're in 4th position. Love that, Andy. I don't know if she wears them, bro. Yeah, this is a good point as well, which we've mentioned before, Vic, right? We've mentioned it before. That he could potentially come on and be, because he's not going to start in that midfield. You know, Kamara's been phenomenal, Ampadu's been phenomenal, but what it does enable you to do is bring on Archie for Kamara, Greer for Ampadu, although I don't think he'll ever bring Ampadu off. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, listen, did you see as well that apparently PSG might be looking at Struijk? Did you see that? I don't know if you've seen that. I'm going to see if it's still on the Leeds news now. Yeah, it is. So according to Voltball, which is a pretty respected Dutch news outlet, they're saying that Paris Saint-Germain are looking to bring in Pascal Struijk as a signing. It's mad. It's mad. He's a top player. I've said this, you know, people who don't think he is mad. But yeah, listen, he's very good. And I think as well, the thing is with PSG, they're now changing the way in which they operate. If you look at their signings now, they're all a lot younger. They're not going for the Neymars, the Messis, all these sort of players anymore. They have a lot of young French internationals and all that sort of stuff. So that's a tack that they're looking to change. So, yeah, I don't think it'll happen, but yeah, that was one that came up. So there you go. Yeah, PSG is shit, Stephen. I don't even think they're that good, but they are changing it. So, and he's still very young for a centre-back. Trust me when I say Struijk in, 10 years' time? I mean, how old is he now, Pascal? Let's have a look. Anyone know how old Pascal is? I say 10 years. That's a lot, isn't it? But if I can retire, Joe. No. So he's 24, so he'll be 34, be retired. But let's say 10 years' time. But even in 5 years' time, yeah, 29. Do you know what I mean? He's top notch, top level. Do you know what I mean? It's looking good. So yeah, he's going to be a player. My good friend Ash says Darlow, Spence, Rodon, Struijk, Byron, Kamara, Ampadu. Nah, I don't think he'll go 4-3-3, will he? He won't drop. He won't do that. If he had a proper 10, potentially, bro. But yeah, I can't see it. I think he won't. I don't know though, because having spoke to the Norwich fan when he spoke about Stiepermann, Cantwell, Buendia, I just think he'll want another player to play behind Rutter, or maybe he'll go get a striker. Maybe he'll look at a striker that can run in behind and then put Rutter back. But then where does Piroe go? I genuinely feel at this point Piroe might end up being a waste of money, which is mad. But I've said even if we got promoted, Piroe needs replacing. Because if he's going to play this way, it's mad. It's mad. I would bring Piroe out though. I would think, because I just don't know. Like sometimes he's a bit all over the shop, isn't he? I'm not so sure though. I think Piroe was after Archer had gone and Amiri had gone personally. That's just my opinion. I mean, Ross Stewart's broken though, isn't he? He's got injured again, bro. He's got injured again. Yeah, played out of position, yeah, and I just don't think he's got the qualities to be a number 9 in the Prem, Jamie. Otherwise, clubs would have took him, I think, before now. He's not a Jokeres, is he? Do you know what I mean? And I know not many are, but, you know, none of the newly promoted sides looked at him. Sheffield United could have done with him. They didn't look at him. You know, this I'm not too sure. Yeah. If Piroe signing goes wrong, it's on him. Potentially, bro. It could well be. Could well be. But Piroe will get 20 goals, to be fair. Yes, some games don't suit him as a 10, but it's definitely useful. Do we think he'll get 20? How much is he in? Just bear me one moment. I just want to have a look to see how many he's got. I remember when Danny Rumsey said he wouldn't get 10, didn't he? I think he's already passed that. Let's have a look. He's got 9. He's got 9. I don't think he'll get 20, Vic. Do we think he gets another 11? He gets another 11? That's more like it, probably. Yeah. Halfway through, though, if he gets another 9, it's 18. You never know. You never know, Damar. If he's on the pitch when the penalty comes, you might be right. Might be right. I don't see that, Brett. I think Matt O'Reilly's been linked to some big clubs, Aston Villa as well. They did, Pete. They did. They said it. They did say it. They knew their shit. They do know their shit. Do you know what I mean? They did say this, so and it's bearing fruit, isn't it? It is bearing fruit. If we're being totally honest, I know Piroe has looked good in some games, but his impact is largely nothing. Like, when you're bringing in this guy, we were all expecting top goal scorer, mark it down. Let's be honest. And maybe that's naivety on my part. I can only speak for myself, right? But maybe it's naivety on my part. When he came in, I was thinking, oh my God. I was speaking to Locks. Oh, we want Piroe. Everybody wanted Piroe, right? Southampton, they want Piroe. He's going to be the striker that wins you the league. And he's coming. Yes, he's got 9 goals. Somerville's got more than him, though, I would say, I think. Somerville's had impact. Rutter's had impact. Piroe has, sometimes, for me, has 0 impact. Especially when we're tasked with breaking down a low block. So I don't think it's worked up to this point. Would you say it has? I know he's got 9 goals, but would you say it's worked up to this point? I would argue no. No, I'm not saying that, Jamie. You're putting words in my mouth. I just don't think that the signings worked. I think if we were to replace him in the site, we'd probably arguably create more. I don't know. Yeah, Evie makes a great point. Did anyone notice when Piroe got swapped for Darlow? No, neither did I. It's a good point. I don't know what. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. It is difficult. Yeah, true, Vic. True. That is true. Yeah, this is a point. Whereas your Somervilles and your Rutters do, don't they? Okay, Rutter might, but he's still created the most chance in the league, you know. So, Poyampalo was the one, wasn't he? Poyampalo, yeah. Piroe scores, Bamford don't, and Joel playing out of position. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, okay. He's playing a position that doesn't suit his strengths. It goes back to the square pegs. Yeah, and again, that's on Farker then, innit? That's on Farker, JMO. And we'll have to come back to that if things. Just on changes as well, obviously, after the game, Daniel Farker said about, the players looking a little bit lazy. So it's probably, he probably will change it. You would imagine, just based on that comment alone. I don't know who we would argue would be lazy. I'm not too sure. Michael says Max has done a great video on his channel on how to beat the low or mid block. Go check that out. Definitely go check that out if you haven't already. Max at Leeds lately. It'll no doubt be full of informative stuff for you. Look, we've lost the last 2 on the road now. That's got to change, hasn't it, for a team that wants to be vying for the top two. You know, we've lost the last 2 on the road. We've not lost 3 on the road since April 2018. That's a long time ago now. Yeah, a long time ago. So we need to rectify this situation. If I'm a betting man, I put the draw. I can't see past the draw, if I'm being totally honest. We're 8 points, obviously, behind Ipswich, which, look, if we're being real, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. You know, had we have lost to Leicester, had we lost to Ipswich, it could be a hell of a lot better, of course, but it's still single figures. Look, the thing that worries me a little bit is the fact that Southampton have now gone in between us as well. So it feels even further out of reach. It feels even further out of reach. Southampton are flying at the moment as well, aren't they? I think, is it 15 in a row, something like that? Shut up. But let's have a look at the lineup and see how we envisage the lineup to look. Just bear with us 1 minute, and I want your help in doing this, folks. You can help me put together the lineup for tomorrow's game, and I'm just gonna share my screen so you can get a look at it. Just bear with us 1 minute. Here we go. Right, okay, create. Right, I'm going to quickly share my screen with you. Just bear with us 1 moment. I think last game of the season we'll decide. Oh, imagine, mate, against Southampton. Can you imagine? Wow, that would be insane. As much as I know, I've seen a few people say 4-3-3. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think any of us envisage that to happen. I think it'll be 4-2-3-1, won't it? I think that's how we see it. Jamie says, my prediction unchanged. Can you imagine? There'd be a meltdown, wouldn't there? Let me just see if I can make this a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if that... it's probably that, isn't it? What is it? Yeah, it's probably that one. Maybe there? I don't know. Is that a bit better? No, it's not, is it? We'll just go there. Just stop messing about, Joe. He needs to change something away from home. I don't think he will, though, will he? So I'm assuming... I was going to say... We all know Darlow's going in goal. If he puts Klaassen in, then I would ask for him to be sacked. Right back then, I assume everyone wants Spence. I'm still not convinced, people, but I think people will lose their heads if it's not the case. Byram, if fit. What if Byram's not fit? What does he do? Does he play Firpo? Just Joe's renting forces to tie, Joe. How much of a loss will Melly be? Should we be slightly concerned? Parker said we might have to go long. Where did he say that? Where did he say that? Have I missed that? Is that in that 5-minute presser after the game? Because I have not watched that. Can someone ask us that? Or answer me that, sorry. So he did say it. Wow, okay. So that's that there as well is another fucking thing with why I was saying Melly is important in that, isn't it? They said we'll have to be more direct. That doesn't suit us, folks. People might prefer that, but that doesn't suit us. We haven't got the players up top to hold it up. You might as well play Bamford if you're going to do that. You might as well play Bamford if you're going to do that, because Rutter's not against Kipri, Ajayi, or Bartley. Not for me. So you might as well put Bamford up front if that's what we're going to do. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I should have watched that. That's a little bit worrying for me. Struijk El Capitano. Listen, how good was Pascal, by the way? Yeah, Jamie, and again, another bleeper, in it. Another bleeper, really. Yeah, that's a good shout. Okay, maybe he starts Joseph then potentially. No, it was his pre-match that he did after the game, though. He said Byram's fit. Right, okay, that's good then. So Byram's fit. We're not going to expect any changes here, are we, if we're being totally honest? So it'll be... sorry, I'm over here. Amper do. Kamara. Oh, Glenny boy. Do we, when we talk about this laziness he spoke of, do we envisage any changes up top at all? How good was Struijk, by the way? I forgot to mention it. Yeah, Pascal van Nistelrooy. He was playing so much further forward towards the back end of the game. It was unreal. Non-total start, do you think? He won't drop. I don't think he'll drop James. I've seen a lot of annoyance that he didn't he didn't make the change. He took Somerville off instead of James. And I think he likes James just for that defensive solidity. But I'm not too sure. Somerville starts. We know that much, don't we? Somerville starts, right? That goes without saying. Somerville starts. I need to move that. What we say? Is that what we think? And then I can't see it. Do you know what? It genuinely wouldn't surprise me if it's the same fucking lineup and Spencer's at left back. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me, people. I'm not even lying. You think Joseph? Yeah, James will play for defence. That's what I think as well. I don't think he drops Piroe as well. I don't think he'll drop him due to that manager's arrogance, which isn't a bad thing. They all have it. But, you know, we were all there when he was talking about Pookie, top goal scorer. Spoke every league top goal scorer, every league top goal scorer. And I think he'll die on that hill. For better or for worse, really. For better or for worse. Let's hope it's for better and not for worse. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no changes, man. Mad, isn't it? It's mad. Come on, I want to know in the chat, right? I'm gonna put a poll in now. I want to know how many changes they made. Like, if any. How can I position this? I'll just put Willie make changes. I'm interested to see. And answer honestly. Don't answer if you think he should. Answer if you think he will. There, I've put it in there. He said it had to be mixed up. Okay. Well, apart from Darlow, you're not allowed Darlow. You can't have Darlow, people. Exactly, Damar. It is. I hear you. I don't see Leeds going back in for Amiri, mate. I think the way that Angus Kinnear spoke about him and that, I just don't see it happening. I might be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. I think he'll make 2 if Byram is fit to start. Yeah. Another thing with Farker is he doesn't take responsibility for his mistake in post-match. Oh, well, Kinnear was just unhappy about the way it was dealt with when they had to pay for their own flights back and all that sort of stuff. I tell you what I did see, which was quite interesting, was Amid Diallo's going to be available for loan. But it said Southampton and Ipswich. I think he might go Ipswich. They've just lost George Hurst as well, haven't they? The striker of Ipswich, and Mason Holgate's gone back from Southampton. Could we look at Mason Holgate? Left back, can play centre back, can play anywhere across the back four, I believe. You know, Jamie, you've spoke about before in terms of another option there. Mason Holgate could be it. He can play anywhere across the back line. Yeah, Giallo's the lad who was at Sunderland. He's a winger, yes, but Damar, why not? Why not, though? Is he that bad, Mason Holgate, do you think? I remember when I put forward Jamal Lascelles and got absolutely battered for it. Went to play in the Champions League and was having a good season, but yeah. The only change in every game Byram has played, Leeds hadn't lost this year. That's true. True. They want him gone permanently, do they? I'm not sure. Yeah, listen. Leeds United need to be active. They need to be active in the window for sure, and no messing about. We can't be waiting till the end of the window because there's too many games. Too many games. We can't be playing catch up. We already are, aren't we? I'm just having a look at Leeds United's fixtures now. Obviously, we've got these two in quick succession, and I think this is going to tell us a lot. When I said the other day about reassessing come January the 1st, because I still think. And I'm holding, maybe it's copium, maybe I'm just trying to find ways to cope with it. I'm hoping that there's two games still. There's tomorrow, and then we've got one on January the 1st, right? There's 4 games in 8 days, ignore that. 4 games in 8 days. So I'm hoping that those above us will drop points in this time as well. Then at January the 1st, when we've played that game against Birmingham, we played Birmingham no name on January the 1st. Then I can have a look at it and say, right, okay, this is how many points. Because I'm convinced, I don't see Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton winning them next 2 as well, right? Let's assess it. Let's wait. That's the way I'm looking at it. Now, if we've dropped more points and they've gained more, I look at it and I go, for fuck's sake, this is going to be a long old season where we finish in the playoffs. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I do remember Damar, don't worry. I think there's tweets that have been bookmarked, bro. So don't worry. It's so funny, man, because I just mute the conversation. But yeah, it's bleak. It's not looking good. Surely, Brom, yeah, 3 points. You got to pick up 3 points, but yeah. Yeah. So I think that's where my head's at. I'm gonna wait till January the 1st. Let's see where the land lies and then go from there. Because if we lose, you know, the gap could be 13 again. At this point, I'm going, nah, fuck it. Turn it in. Turn it in. Listen, folks, there's 404 people watching, only 152 likes. I am just going to ask you as well, just on the poll as well, 51% of people think he will make changes. There you go. I'm surprised at that. FA Cup 3rd round, throw it in the bin. I'm not asked. I'm genuinely not asked. Obviously, we'll watch the game and all that, but I couldn't give a shit about it. We are less than 50 people away from 26k. We are 46 people away. So if you are new here and you haven't subscribed already, please do. That'd be great if you could do that. But yeah, what was I going to say now? My mind's gone blank. Yeah, that's what I wanted to have a look at. Just Leeds United's January fixtures. So apart from Peterborough, so we play Birmingham City, that's on the 1st. Then we've got a week off in effect with the FA Cup, play the youngsters. Then we've got Cardiff away, Preston at home, Norwich at home. That for me, there's 9 points. And I'm not being look, for me, if we're being totally honest, right? Let's be honest here. People will call me arrogant and say, oh, you shouldn't say that, right? But if we're being realistic, we should not lose a game of football that month. If we are being realistic, we should not lose a game of football that month, and I stand by that. This is an easy run. I'm sorry, it is. You should not lose any game of football in January. You play Birmingham City, who are shit, right? You play Peterborough in the FA Cup. You got Cardiff away, okay. maybe tough on paper, but we should be winning. You then got Preston and Norwich at home. We should not lose one game of football in January. And that's just me saying it how it is for me. For me, that is my opinion. We should not. That there is a maximum points. Is maximum points. Now, whether or not that comes to fruition, probably not. But it should. It should. Because them games are easy for Leeds. They should be. You've got 3 home games and 1 away in the league. You've got to win every game. You've got to win every game. I know, I get it. We are Leeds, hear it. But if we're serious about going up, then we have to. See, the thing is, I go into the next, but this is just me. I go into the next month. I think Bristol City, Rotherham at home, Swansea, Plymouth. Okay, Leicester at the end of the month. Let's win every game in Feb. You just never know, do you? You just never know. You just never know. But we'll see. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow night. Obviously, we'll be doing a watch along of the game. Looking at it now, we will be live about 7:15. I'm not going to bother with Southampton Plymouth because it finishes and then boom. So I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, we've got to win tomorrow. Yeah, no, I agree, Sean Kelly. I hear what you're saying, but I think it is realistic to say we should be going throughout January, not getting beat. I don't think it's unrealistic to think that. I'm sorry. But here's what it is. We're going unbeaten in January. All right. But let's it's not even, do you know what, bro? It's jammers. I got them off my son for Christmas. And I put him to bed and I thought, do you know what? I'm keeping them on. It is what it is. Jammers, PJs, fluffer, matching pants. Yeah, nice. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. I know you back it as well. You're with me. You're with me. Yeah, we should. Yes. That's it. You tell him, Justin. It's a typo. It was a typo. Big up, Sean, new arrival. Thank you, mate. Thanks for subscribing if you have as well. Yeah, man, 100%. Marvel's the way, man. Marvel is the way. Ryan says you ain't the best. Not necessarily, bro. People just remind me the ones I got wrong. They don't remind me when I got them right. I told you I had to block the guy on social media who was like messaging me on the 75th minute saying, you said we'd batter them. I knew we wouldn't. What, in the 70th minute you knew we would? You didn't tell me before that. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I can't even be arsed with this shit, man. That's what kind of mood I was in, because it just wrecked my head, boxing. It wrecked my head, I can't lie to you, because I was convinced we battered it, which I say we got pressing there. Rubbish. Smashed them up. No, we didn't. We were rubbish. We move. Yeah, they do, though. They do, Evie. I remember once I walked out of Ellen Road and I had a DM by the time I got to my mate's car. And I said to the guy, don't ever do this again. I'm at the game. I'm angry. Like, why do you want to, like, turn the screw? You're a Leeds fan. You should be annoyed at me. Yes, I got it wrong. Apologies. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Oh. Yeah, D. No, because I don't do it for. I don't do it. I actually am worried about this game, and I think we'll draw. I'd take a 2-1. If we beat them comfortably, it'd be great. But then I'm like the others were before last week. You know, before this game, saying, "Oh, we got Birmingham though." Do you know what I mean? Joe, don't block, you'd be on 35k by now. Man, nah. Anyway, we move. We all have fun, don't we? Listen, please smash a like on the video. We've spent a lovely hour together. It's been quite a while since I've done a live on my own. It feels like, anyway. I'm just gonna I'm trying to think what's to watch. There's Ricky Gervais has just come out on Netflix. I watched that last night. It was all right. It's not his best work. And then there's a new one about this family in India called curry and what's it called? That poison. What's that poison called, man? What's that poison called? Begins with a C. Because it was curry and I keep thinking of arsenic, but that doesn't begin with a C. Curry and something on Netflix. Help me out, people. Cyanide. There we go. Someone put chips. Curry and cyanide. That's it. There's a new one. I like stuff like that. It's a true crime thing. Curry and cyanide, and I assume this lass basically feeds her family cyanide in curry. I assume, but we'll wait and see. But I love true crime stuff, so I'm not like that. I like someone said chips. I did have a chicken tikka masala and chips, not one from a takeaway, but it was nice. So I started to watch this. I started to watch it, but it's 3.5 hours long, and I stopped. And I watched it on a dodgy box, and I don't have a dodgy box, so it's not out on Sky, and I'm not paying for it. But I will watch it because Leonardo DiCaprio is the GOAT, along with Martin Scorsese. You know what I mean? But we'll check it out. Listen, smash a like on the video. Thanks always for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, come on, Leeds United, please, man. Because if we lose, I cannot. I do not. I will not. I'll cry because I didn't even do a post match before. A lot of that was due to the tiredness, but thanks, Kirsty. But you know, we were there. We came and I showed up for the final word and took my medicine. But we move. Thanks always for watching. I'll see you in a bit, people. Have a nice evening. Yeah, thanks for joining me late on. Remember, January's round the corner as well. So we're talking lunchtime Leeds. We're talking late night Leeds. So we're going to be there. Pedal to the metal. It'll be me taking naps in between streams again. So it's going to be locked in, loaded. All content creators want to get involved. I'm going to need people on an evening, all that stuff. So, you know, please get in touch because you're going to be busy if you want to get involved. Eve, you're always a good sport, mate. You've got to take your medicine, haven't you? Got to take your medicine because best believe I'll return it. Enjoy your evening, folks. Peace out now. Bye-bye.